Hi everybody, my name's Ron Bishop and I'm telling my life story on YouTube. Every day I do a video about my life, and today I'm talking about my trip to the South Island. I came down to the South Island in 1963. I was a sheep shearer at the time, and I'm from the North Island of New Zealand, and I came to the South Island in 1963. And in 1964, I ended up in Alexandra, and I married my wife Margaret in Alexandra. We moved to Ashburton in 1967, and I shore sheep up there. I was a sheep shearer for 10 years, and in 1971 I gave up shearing, and I bought a carpet cleaning business. But the carpet cleaning business was too hard on my back, so I gave that away and I got into finance. I got a job with a company called Circuit Developments, and I sold life insurance and I sold property investments throughout the South Island. In 1976, I was offered a job with a company called Broadlands Finance, who was the biggest finance company in New Zealand at the time, and I was appointed in Timaru as their branch manager. So I went to Timaru in 1976. In 1983 I had a mental breakdown and I very nearly took my own life. I got very depressed, and it was some trying period for me and my family. It cost me my job. I lost my job, but I bounced back again. At the time, my son Gus was a photographer for the Timaru Herald, and he took photos of the Timaru Herald. And he came to me one day and said, "Dad, they're not paying me very much money." He said, "I'm not going anywhere with the Timaru Herald." And I said, "Well, Gus, we could start our own newspaper. Why do we need the Timaru Herald? We can start our own newspaper. You can take photos and write captions for the photos." And my daughter Sharyon, she's looking for a job, so she came and did the administration, and I went out and I sold advertising to get the newspaper going. We called our newspaper Photo News, and this is the first copy, issue number 1, which we did in November 1983. We were the first newspaper in South Canterbury to do a colour photograph on the front page. And there it is, some yachts, the Yachting Club, and it was sponsored by the Dominion Breweries, DB South Island Breweries Limited. This was the last copy of Photo News, the company I formed, Photograph Newspapers Limited. We had to close it down because we didn't make any money out of it. But I carried on. In 1989, I published a souvenir edition of South Canterbury. I did it all by myself, and I wanted it to be a really good photographic newspaper. And if we turn the page, this is what I did. Photo News starts a New Zealand tourist appeal in an effort to develop the Hydro Grand site in Timaru. The old Hydro Grand Hotel in Timaru had been sitting there and people had sort of abandoned the hotel because it hadn't been looked after very much, and I thought we could develop it because it's on a great site. And I did it using these tins here. I raised money by donation, and people would put money into the tins. There's some of the books I was reading at the time that inspired me to do this. There's South Canterbury world-class golf courses. I did the Glenity golf course there, and it was really a good publication. This is another one I did in 1990, a photographic magazine. Photo News. This is the dam, the big dam up there at up in the lakes. There's some motorbike, motorsport people there. It was a really good publication, this one as well. I did a lot of work on Caroline Bay Carnival, promoting the carnival. There's an old Burns there singing with somebody in the crowd. All these advertisers supported me, and I promoted Bay Carnival. We also promoted the Oamaru Whitestone Civic Trust in this publication. It was just getting started, and I promoted it. And we took photographs of all the Whitestone in Oamaru and wrote stories about it. The Waitaki Girls High School and the Waitaki Boys High School, we took a photo of that with the children out the front. And here's some more of the photos of the sculptures in historic Oamaru. Yeah, that's the photo news story, but the photo news story doesn't stop there. It stops with the Hydro Grand. It's part of the Hydro Grand. And I'm going to talk some more about the Hydro Grand and how it relates to photo news. So until then, I'll see you later.